I'm Jon Neal. I'm from Suffolk Mine, which is a charity partner for town. Thank you very much for having a chat with us, Kayden. We've got this weekend on Saturday, it's World Suicide Prevention Day, and there's going to be a few of the Suffolk Mine team in the fan zone and around the ground, and people are going to be hopefully raising a bit of money for us, and more importantly perhaps raising awareness of mental health and the things that Suffolk Mine can do, the support that's out there for people and support that's out there more generally. What have you come across any mental health issues before in the locker room or in football? I mean, there's been a lot more talk recently with a lot of footballers talking about their mental health more often. Have you seen any of that yourself?
Yeah, there's certainly been an uprising in footballers talking about their mental health a lot more. Obviously I came from Accrington where Billy Key was quite a big one in terms of had a lot of spotlight on him and stuff like that, and yeah, he came out and said that he was struggling and had to take time out of the game, which was at the time it was sad to see, because it was someone that I was close with professionally, and to see him at the top of his game and doing so well, and giving people so much to cheer about. But in the meantime, he was struggling, kind of day-to-day stuff, and going back home after training. Obviously as a footballer, sometimes you finish slightly earlier than others and stuff like that, and you tend to get a little bit more time off than people, and it can be a lonely place, because you're going home at kind of 2 o'clock, and your partner's at work. Your kids are at school, and for a few hours it's just you there. So yeah, I've definitely seen an uprising in that over the last sort of like 4 years, and then obviously we had the pandemic, which I can imagine you guys have obviously seen an uprising in people struggling with their mental health and stuff like that, and suicide numbers I've seen they've risen since the pandemic and throughout the pandemic. So yeah, it's again, I think it's a good thing that more footballers are speaking about it, because the more we as people in the in the spotlight and the public eye, the more we speak about things, then the more people that hold us to high regard and respect us a lot, the more that'll encourage them to speak out. So yeah, it's definitely a good thing.
Yeah, I mean, we've definitely seen at Suffolk Mine a real increase in the number of people that need the support that we've got on offer, and even people who are struggling with their mental health for the first time in their lives, and have got a bit of imposter syndrome almost, and kind of thinking, well, I've got a lot of things going for me. I'm not. There's plenty of people out there who need more support than I do, and perhaps maybe a bit reluctant to call for help or to speak to their friends and family about what they might need as well. So football, I mean, that's what this is all about really this week, and this weekend is just encouraging people to look out for each other and speak to each other. And 1 in 5 people right now have suicidal thoughts, and 1 in 4 people more generally have mild to moderate mental ill health in any given year. So it's if you look around you on the terraces, and we're walking around the ground now, thinking about that 1 in 4 and 1 in 5, that's quite a few people around you who might be needing something. And if people think about their own families as well, it's just one of our key messages is to ask people, ask your friends, ask your family, how are you doing, how are you feeling, and is there anything you want to talk about, is there anything you want to get some help with potentially. And I think football's got a really important role to play there in like you say, tackling the stigma and making it a bit more of a normal kind of conversation.
Yeah, 100%. It is scary to think, when we've got sort of 26,000 people here, then, it's 5,000 of those are, struggling and, like you said, having mental health issues and having suicide thoughts even, to think that, and living in Suffolk, obviously driving over the Orwell Bridge and stuff over the years that I've been here, far too many times it's, the bridge has been closed because someone's attempted or someone's taken their own life on there. It's, it's scary, and, even as footballers, at the end of the day, we're normal people. We have families, we have issues, we have family issues, we have, other issues that, aren't great and, sometimes aren't easy to deal with. But yeah, no, definitely, I think, the more we speak about it and the more it's, obviously the help's there from you guys, the more people are aware of that, you know, the better it is, because, you know, the last thing we want to be doing is, you know, seeing people taking their own lives and feeling like that's the only option they have. It's, you know, it's a sad place, and, you know, I can't think how, you know, how lonely people must be to, you know, to be having those kind of thoughts. So yeah, no, I think, you know, the more we can help as a football club, the more we can shine a light on it, and, you know, and just let everyone know that the help is out there. And, you know, if you are struggling, there are places to go, and there's people to speak to. You know, I know us as a football club, if anybody needed to, you know, to speak to anyone at the football club, you know, we'd be there to support them, and, you know, we'd be there to help, because, you know, ultimately we don't want to, you know, we don't want people losing their lives. And, you know, it doesn't just affect one life as well. It's kind of a domino effect, which, you know, I've seen that as, you know, as a family member losing their life, you know, through kind of suicide and mental health. You know, to then see the domino effect it has on other family members, it's, you know, it is, it's a lot worse than just, you know, one life. So yeah, no, I'm glad that we can, you know, we can help as a football club, and like I said before, we just want to, you know, shine a light and you know, help people know that there is people to speak to, and, you know, there are avenues to go down, you know, if you need help.
Well, we're certainly really grateful to the club for all the support that you guys have given us over the years. You and I have been to a primary school before lockdown, so a couple of years ago now, because you're never too young to start thinking about how you can look after yourself and the people around you better. What's it like in football? I mean, football's very much a game of kind of ups and downs. You've been at the club for quite a few years during some of the times when we've been struggling a lot more than we are at the moment. Yeah, it's great times now, and obviously you've scored once and nearly scored twice, but maybe this weekend will be the next one. It's great to hear people singing your name, I guess, and cheering you, but maybe the other side to that, when players are not having such a great game, that must affect them surely as well, when the crowd starts to turn a little bit.
Yeah, definitely. It can, you know, it can be tough. Like you said, I've been here through, you know, tougher times than we're having at the minute. You know, I think you kind of just have, you know, you need to have a mental resilience and a mental toughness to get through them periods. But, you know, it's easier said than done. You know, you need a support network around you. You know, thankfully I've got, you know, an incredible family, and, you know, even though I'm kind of 4 or 5 hours away from home, you know, my family, when they could, obviously the pandemic kind of stopped that, you know, my family were always coming down, and, you know, just having them there for you, and, you know, my partner and my little boy now at the minute, you know, they're definitely keeping me on my toes, and you know, I'm kind of, the only thing I'm thinking about at the minute is them guys. But yeah, no, it has been tough at times, you know, and you kind of have to, just like I said before, just dig in, and ultimately just, you know, do better, you know, work harder than you have done before, and just get through those stages. And, you know, thankfully as a club, and hopefully as a player, you know, the worst has gone, and the best is yet to come. So yeah, it's, you know, and I can imagine for the fans as well, it's been tough, because, you know, the work all week, you know, some 5, 6, 7 days a week, you know, the football, you know, the coming to the stadium was, you know, it's seen as a bit of a respite for them. But, you know, thankfully now I think we're giving them something to cheer about, which, you know, hasn't happened half as frequent as it should have over the years. But yeah, it's nice to know now that, you know, they come in every Saturday enjoying what they're seeing, and, you know, they're knowing that we're going out there working hard for them, and ultimately working hard to put a smile on their faces, and you know, let them enjoy their weekends or weeknights. So yeah, I think, you know, football can be a massive help this season. Hopefully, you know, we'll go out there every Saturday, every Tuesday night, you know, work hard and try and do our best to kind of give them something to celebrate come the end of the season.
Yeah, but just you even just talking about that is a help. You know, just you talking openly about how different matches or different performances affect you and your colleagues in the locker room. You know, every little bit that we do like that helps to raise awareness, helps to break down the barriers to people talking about their mental health. So it's a fantastic piece of work that we're doing here in partnership. So let's hope it continues. And good luck for Saturday.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Cheers, Kayden.
Thanks a lot.